Hello, guys. Hope you're doing well. I'm Melanie. If you enjoy a good Reddit story, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I won't stop you. Right then, let's crack on with our first story of the day. The first story comes from Cloud Harbor Note in the AmITheJerk subreddit, and it says, "Am I the jerk for giving back my friend's gift after I found out he used me as his cheating alibi? Me, a 28-year-old male, and my friend Dylan, a 29-year-old male, have been close since college. We've shared the same friend group and the same silly inside jokes, having been through a lot together. Dylan has been dating Kira, a 27-year-old female, for about 4 years. I'm not best friends with her, but we get along fine, and she's always been nice to me. A couple of weeks ago, she texted me super casually asking, 'Hey, did you guys end up at that late diner after the game?' And I was like, 'What game?' I told her I'd been at home that night, and she got quiet and just said, 'Oh, okay.' Later that day, Dylan called me freaking out, asking what I told her. Turns out he had been telling her he was with me on a bunch of nights he was actually hooking up with someone from his gym. I didn't even know her name, and I still don't. He straight up used me as his cover story, like, 'Yeah, me and the original poster watched the fight. Phone died, sorry babe,' etc. He said he didn't mean to drag me into it, but also asked me to help smooth it over because I technically already did by accident. I told him no, and that I'm not going to lie for him. Kira called me later, crying, and I felt like absolute crap, but I told her the truth. I had no idea, and he never asked me. She broke up with him, or is at least staying with her sister right now. Here's the part people are split on. Dylan had bought me a pretty expensive gift for my birthday earlier this month, a nice pair of headphones I'd been wanting. After all this went down, I boxed them back up and dropped them at his place with a note saying, 'I can't accept this anymore, and don't use my name like that again.' I know the gift was from before I found out, but it just felt gross keeping it. Like I'd be taking a reward from someone who used me and made me look like I was covering for cheating. Dylan is now telling everyone I'm virtue signaling and kicking him when he's down, and that returning the gift was a petty humiliation move. Some friends say I should have just kept the gift and quietly distanced myself because the gift isn't connected to what he did. But to me, it is connected, because he was literally risking my reputation and my friendship with people for his lies. So, am I the jerk for giving back the gift? Let me tell you something. This whole situation is an absolute train wreck, and not the fun kind you can't look away from. Seriously, Dylan? Using your friend as your cheating cover story? That's low, even for a soap opera. And then, to top it all off, Dylan has the audacity to call you and try to pressure you into smoothing things over? I mean, for crying out loud, that's like throwing someone under the bus and then asking them to drive it. Returning the headphones? That was a power move, mate. Some people might say you're virtue signaling, but honestly, what they're missing is the point. You're making a stand, drawing a line. I won't be part of this deceit. There's no space for that nonsense in friendship. I mean, how can you look at that birthday gift and not think it was wrapped in betrayal? Besides, what kind of friend gambles with your honesty for their double life and then claims you're petty? And the rest of the friends saying you should have kept the gift quietly? Sometimes actions need to be loud and clear. If you're returning something like that, it sends a message stronger than any whisper could. Guys, sound off below. If a mate dragged you into their cheating scandal, what's your move? Seriously, I need to hear your takes because I am rattled. A Reddit user says, "Dylan calling it virtue signaling is rich. Dude literally used you as a cheat shield." A Reddit user says, "Your friends are right. It was a very silly and theatrical reaction, like saying, 'You're not my friend anymore. You're not my boyfriend anymore. Don't play with my toys and don't use my potty.' Let me explain. If you had accepted this situation like an adult and couldn't keep the gift, there would have been plenty of uses for it, like throwing it in the trash or giving it to charity. Everything would have been quiet, calm, and drama-free, as if you'd erased the cheater from your life like an adult and never spoken to him again. But you wanted drama, so you ostentatiously returned the gift, and now he's screaming and hurt, and all your friends know it. You're actually playing the offended virtue, because the gift was given before it happened. On the one hand, everything is fine. You refused to communicate with the cheater, but the pomp with which you did it was excessive, leaving like it was Brazilian carnival." A Reddit user says, "You're not the a-hole at all, dude. He literally threw you under the bus without asking, and then had the audacity to ask you to lie for him after getting caught. Returning the gift sends a clear message that you're not okay with being used as his alibi service." A Reddit user says, "Not the jerk. Time to go full no contact with anyone that supports his behavior. Good for you for doing all of this. And honestly, the fact that he is already trying to involve others says it all. You literally figured out that he was trying to get you something really nice for your birthday. You can guarantee that had you kept that gift, he would have literally used it by saying, "I am a good friend. Remember your birthday? I got you the exact headphones you want." And the manipulations would just keep going. But because you shut it down, he now has to try to bring others into it. Keep track of who is siding with him, because they most likely also have really toxic behaviors. So they are enabling and supporting someone else in their devious ways. Someone says, not the asshole. He also could have bought the gift as a, "he'll definitely cover for me." Good for you for telling the truth and for giving it back. A Reddit user says, "You are a really good person for what you did, both telling her the truth and giving the gift back. Because while you didn't have to, I bet on my life he was saying he shouldn't have bought him that and probably wanted it back." I'm sure he wanted it back. That's usually the first thing someone would think about if they did something for you or gave you a gift, was say to themselves, "I shouldn't have given him that or helped with anything, or I wish I could take it back." So that's a forget him. He's a lowlife and you are a good human in my eyes. Sarah had the right to know the truth, and many times men will lie for each other, so it was really cool that you did that. A Reddit user says, "You're not the a-hole. Just as you're within your rights to keep it, you also have the choice to give it back. This guy is twisting everything to make himself look like the victim. If you had kept it, he would be complaining to everyone about how selfish and cold you are." The last story comes from Serious Function 177 in the Am I the Asshole subreddit, and it says, "Am I the a-hole for making my wife ride in the backseat because she couldn't stop distracting me? This happened over the holidays, and my wife is still upset with me about it. Our family went to visit my in-laws for New Year's. It's about a 3 to 4 hour drive, mostly on the highway, but it takes us through 2 metropolitan areas with pretty significant traffic. My wife, who is 37 years old, gets nervous about driving in traffic, so I always drive when we visit her family. She also tends to get car sick on longer drives and needs to sit in the front seat to help ease it. She has tried taking Dramamine in the past, but she's had an allergic reaction to it, so she doesn't take it anymore. I love my wife with all my heart, but she is not good at sitting in the front passenger seat. She makes huge reactions to any change in traffic by grabbing the handle, putting her hand on the dashboard, gasping, telling me to watch out, and things like that. It's not like I'm an aggressive or risky driver. I've never gotten a speeding ticket or been in an accident. But if there's a car half a mile ahead of us that puts on its brakes, she freaks out and acts like we're all about to get into an accident. It's incredibly distracting. I've talked to her multiple times about how her reactions actually make it more difficult for me to concentrate on driving, but she says she can't control herself because she's nervous in traffic. On the way to her family's place, she sat up front with me, and traffic was pretty bad. There were lots of slowdowns due to weather conditions, and in general, it was just kind of slow going. But I've been driving in cold weather my whole life and know how to control my speed and give lots of extra space to any surrounding cars. I understand that you can't control anyone else on the road and that accidents happen, but I do everything in my control to keep my car and the people inside safe. The entire drive, my wife was on edge, making all the reactions I mentioned. It's very distracting to have someone next to you doing that sort of thing while driving. I mentioned this to my wife numerous times on the drive, and she always deflected blame onto me for the way I was driving. When we were getting ready to head home, I told my wife she needed to sit in the back, and our 14-year-old son would sit up front with me. I told her it's either that or she drives us home. She got upset with me and started giving excuses about her car sickness. I told her to take some NyQuil or something else to help her sleep, but she refused and told me I'm being a jerk. I told her that she can drive then, and she refused that too. Eventually, she reluctantly got in the back seat with our 11-year-old daughter. The ride home was much easier traffic-wise, and my wife sat pretty much silent in the back seat the entire time, pouting. When we got home, she told me that she felt ill the entire drive, but didn't say anything because she didn't want to make a big deal out of anything. She told me I humiliated her by making her sit in the back, and that I should be more considerate of her feelings. Someone says, not the a-hole. My friend used to do this. She didn't drive, but I did, so I used to drive us around. She would frequently gasp or hold the dashboard too, and I would panic thinking something was happening. The worst was when she fully screamed while looking to the left. I thought someone was about to hit us, so I swerved. I nearly soiled myself. Why did she scream? A kid who was on the pavement fell over into the middle of the pavement, nowhere near the road, but she decided screaming as if he had fallen under my wheels and I was about to decapitate him was the best option. I stopped the car and said in no uncertain terms that either she shut the heck up or gets a ride with someone else, because she is going to cause the unaliving of someone due to making them panic. Next time in my car, she started shrieking and banging the dashboard. I pulled over and told her to get the hell out. I understand being a nervous driver, but this is ridiculous. If she can keep quiet in the back seat, then tell her that either she does the same in the front seat or she is permanently in the back seat, and she needs to look at different Zaza to help with her nausea. She will cause an accident one day and then use it as, "See, I told you you were an unsafe driver," and she will use it as an excuse to be even worse. She either drives or she's in the back seat. Someone says, "You are not the a-hole if your wife wants to sit in the front seat. Tell her not to look out the windshield. Tell her only to look out the passenger window. That way she will not see the traffic ahead." I had to do this all the time as I hated the way my husband drove and I didn't like to drive. Or she could play games on her phone, another way I distracted myself from looking out of the windshield. But seriously, sitting in the backseat with your daughter, was that so horrible? Seriously, grow up. Oh, and here's the beauty of it all, my friends. It's just a typical marital showdown over a road trip, right? Nothing crazy. Just the kind of disagreement that makes you question why in the world any couple would willingly subject themselves to highway turbulence when teleportation should seriously be an option by now. But enough about the saga of the front seat versus the back seat debacle. Listen, if you're feeling the craziness from today's stories and rants, why not stick around? Hit that subscribe button. It barely even bites. Give this video a thumbs up, unless, of course, you love awkward family road trips. Share what twists your knickers in the comments below, because let's face it, we all need a bit of group therapy after dissecting life's wild twists and turns. And hey, go ahead and check out another video if you're looking to stay entertained.